Sally Field was born in Pasadena, California, on November 6, 1946. Field rose to fame from poor beginnings. Margaret Field, her mother, was also an actress, and Jock Mahoney, her dad, did stunts and was an actor. She got her start in the film business through family ties to Hollywood. But her journey wasn't easy at all. It was hard for Sally as a child to deal with her feelings and live with her mixed-race family. She said she was shy and insecure a lot of the time, but her natural ability and charm soon showed. She got her first big break in TV right after finishing from Birmingham High School in Van Nuys. This was the beginning of her career. The 1965 TV show Gidget, which was about a brave young surfer, made Sally Field famous all over the world. The show was only on for one season, but it showed off her great energy and funny timing, which made people love her right away. Soon after, she played Sister Bertriel, a happy nun who could actually fly in The Flying Nun from 1967 to 1970. This was another famous part for her. Even though the show was a hit, Field later said she felt stuck playing cute and perky girls all the time and wanted to play more serious and important parts instead. This time in her life was a turning point. She worked hard to prove herself as an actress who could do more than just be cute in sitcoms. Field wanted to change from the TV actress she was known as, so she started taking acting classes at the Actors Studio with the famous Lee Strasberg. The experience changed the way she did her job and gave her the courage to go after parts that were more emotionally difficult. She kept trying, and in the 1976 made-for-TV movie Sybil, she gave an amazing performance as a young lady with dissociative identity disorder. Field's performance as the character, which needed a wide range of emotions, was praised by all, won her an Emmy Award, and changed the course of her career forever. It was the first time that Hollywood saw Sally Field not as a silly TV performer, but as a serious, dramatic star. Because she did so well in Sybil, she was able to get movie parts that showed off her whole range. She played the lead role in the 1979 film Norma Rae, which was about a Southern mill worker who joins a union. The role hit home with both audiences and critics because Field played the part with honesty, grit, and emotion. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance, and her moving acceptance speech, "You like me, you really like me," is one of the most famous moments in Oscar history. It shows how relieved and happy she was to finally be recognized for her ability. Field continued to shine in a wide range of parts throughout the 1980s. In 1977's Smokey and the Bandit and 1978's The End, she appeared with Burt Reynolds, with whom she was in a relationship. Even though they broke up, the relationship had a big impact on her personal and business life, as the two stars became one of the most talked-about pairs in Hollywood. Field also gave great performances in Places in the Heart, 1984, for which she won her second Academy Award, and Steel Magnolias, 1989, which showed how she could be both strong and vulnerable as a mother dealing with love and loss. Over the next few decades, Sally Field continued to show how strong she was as an actor. She played the loving mother of Tom Hanks in the 1994 movie Forrest Gump, which became an iconic part in and of itself. Later, she easily moved back to TV and won praise for her roles in ER and Brothers and Sisters, where she played the mother of a complicated modern family. This performance got her another Emmy. Field kept taking on parts that were hard for her even after she turned 70. Among these were her roles in The Glass Menagerie on Broadway, and as Mary Todd Lincoln in Steven Spielberg's 2012 film Lincoln, for which she was nominated for another Oscar. In addition to her work on screen, Sally Field has been a strong supporter of women's rights, LGBTQ+ freedom, and mental health awareness. Her honest book, In Pieces, 2018, and the fact that she was open about her low self-esteem problems gave fans a close look into her personal life, including her wins, losses, and strength. People who read her memoir liked how it showed the strength behind her weakness. They praised her courage and honesty. Like her successful work, Sally Field's personal life has been full of love, partnership, and personal growth. These times show how strong and independent she is as a woman and as an artist. She married Stephen Craig for the first time in 1968, when she was still getting known after her early TV roles in Gidget and The Flying Nun. She was going through a big change in her personal and professional life at the same time she got married. She was trying to find herself outside of the funny parts that made her famous in the first place. Field and Craig got a divorce in 1975, but they had been living apart since 1973. During that time, Field started looking for more mature and difficult acting parts that would soon change the course of her career. These two people had two boys together. Peter Craig was born in 1969, and Eli Craig was born in 1972. In the artistic footsteps of their mother, both of her kids went on to have successful careers in Hollywood. Peter became a well-known author and screenwriter who worked on big films like The Town, 2010, and Top Gun, Maverick, 2022. Eli, on the other hand, became famous as both an actor and a director, and his dark comedy, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, 2010, won him praise. Field has talked a lot about how proud she is of her boys, focusing on how close their family was and how being a mother kept her grounded during her rough times in the showbiz business. Following the end of her marriage to Craig, Field began one of the most talked-about relationships of her life with the famous actor Burt Reynolds. From 1976 to 1980, they were in a relationship that was both passionate and interesting to the public. They met on the set of the famous 1977 action comedy Smokey and the Bandit. The movie was a big hit at the box office and made them one of the most loved on-screen and off-screen couples of the decade. Because they got along so well, they worked together on 3 more films: Smokey and the Bandit 2, 1980, The End, 1978, and Hooper, 1978. However, their relationship was just as intense and confusing off-screen as it was on-screen. Later, Field said that Reynolds was someone she really cared about, but who also had problems with being open and in charge, which made their relationship stronger in the end. Even though they broke up in 1980, they dated again and again for a few more years before they finally broke up for good in 1982. Later, when Field and Reynolds talked about their time together, they did so with love and a sense of unresolved feelings. Reynolds called Field the love of my life in his 2015 autobiography. Even though Field liked them, she wrote in her 2018 book, In Pieces, that their relationship had been emotionally complicated and sometimes hard. She fell in love again and married film director Alan Griezmann in 1984. Field was already one of the most respected actors in Hollywood at the time they started dating. She had won 2 Academy Awards for her roles in Norma Rae, 1979, and Places in the Heart, 1984. It was with Griezmann that Field had her 3rd boy, Sam, in 1987, adding another bright spot to her family. Field has often said nice things about Sam, who went on to become a writer and public champion, about how close her family is and how much they help each other. Even though Field was successful in her work, she always put motherhood first. She balanced her career with raising her children, which she said was both hard and very rewarding. But, as with many Hollywood relationships, her marriage to Griezmann ended. After 10 years together, they got a divorce in 1994. There have been many reports over the years of stars fighting behind the scenes on Hollywood film sets, but few are as bad as the rumors about Sally Field and Tommy Lee Jones. Both are respected, Oscar-winning actors who are known for their professionalism and immense ability. However, they had a notoriously bad working relationship while making Backroads, 1981. Sally Field has always been honest about her life in Hollywood, and she didn't hold back when she talked about how she felt about Jones. She once said, "I've worked with tough guys before, but Tommy was something else entirely. It was impossible to deal with him. He made me hate him more than anyone else I'd ever worked with." Her words, which were both honest and worn out, show how frustrated and emotionally drained she was by the whole thing. Both Field and Jones were at important points in their lives when Backroads was filmed. Tommy Lee Jones was becoming known for his energy, grit, and almost scary seriousness about his work, while Sally Field had already shown that she could play a range of dramatic roles in Norma Rae, 1979, and Smokey and the Bandit, 1977. Even though their relationship on screen seemed real and honest, they were actually very hostile towards each other off camera. Field later said that a lot of the stress in their scenes wasn't fake, it was real. She said that every look and word between us was charged. It wasn't a lie that I was mad at him. I was. They were fighting because they had very different ideas about how to act. Jones was known for being moody, precise, and often unwilling to listen to other people, while Field was known for being open about her feelings and working with others. People knew him for being bossy and argumentative on set, and Field, who believed in respecting others and understanding them, could not stand his behavior. She said that he could be arrogant. It seemed like he thought I wasn't doing anything right. I had already won an Oscar. It was rude, and many crew members later said that the atmosphere on set was tense and tiring, with long silences and a clear dislike between the two stars. Even though they didn't like each other, they had to share a lot of private and emotional scenes for the movie. The irony was that their heated arguments made their connection on screen electric. Critics praised how realistic and edgy they were, but they didn't realize that it was mostly because they were in real conflict. Field later admitted that she sometimes let her real anger show through the role. "I used every bit of my anger towards Tommy to fuel my performance," she said. "In a strange way, it helped me feel better." But when the movie was over, she made it clear that she would never work with him again. She told him straight out, "I couldn't stand being in the same room with him." Tommy Lee Jones, on the other hand, never replied to Fields' comments in public, but his silence said a lot. He was known for being rude and not liking Hollywood rumors, so he thought rumors of feuds were silly. Still, people who worked with him said that his personality often clashed with co-stars, especially strong-willed ones like Fields. They refused to be scared. Someone from the Backroads crew remembered that Sally gave everything she had. Things got worse between them because she wouldn't give in. It was like seeing two storms hit each other. Later, they thought about the event with a mix of humor and lingering anger. She said, "I guess he's a great actor. You don't have to like the person, though. I didn't. I really hated him." Her honest words hit home with her fans, who respected her honesty and refusal to sugarcoat Hollywood truths. She made it clear that not all work relationships are good, even ones that are official. She also said that people think actors become friends after shooting. That's not always correct. Sometimes you just make it through. Even now, decades later, Backroads is just a footnote in the careers of both actors. The movie is known less for its story and more for how well its stars worked together. Smith and Jones both went on to have more success. Jones in No Country for Old Men, 2007, and Places in the Heart, 1984, and Smith in The Fugitive, 1993. Their work together is a stark reminder of how creative ability and deep personal hatred can live together. Sally Field's feelings for Tommy Lee Jones never changed in the end. Her words, which were sharp, honest, and deeply felt, are still remembered as one of the most shocking statements in Hollywood history that two co-stars didn't like each other. She came to the conclusion that he was skilled, but that didn't mean he could be cruel. "I'd rather work with someone else." She built her career on honesty, passion, and the courage to say what she thinks, even if it made other people uncomfortable. That comment, unfiltered and raw, shows what kind of person she is.